This video is going to be very different from the rest of my videos. As you can see, I'm taking a walk in nature. I come here all the time if I had to think and process a lot of stuff because we are surrounded by technology. It's good to separate yourself from work, anything technology. I'm kind of being hypocritical because I have my phone here, but the only reason I brought my phone was to make this video. And what I'm about to say is very, very important. I don't know how many of you guys follow my story on YouTube or like is involved in my journey. I became profitable last year and I've been trading for 5 years now, and I withdrew over like 5 figures in prop firms. That kind of changed my perspective on the whole trading thing. Here is like the main reason I feel most people don't make money in trading. Trading is a very dangerous game, and I'll tell you why. For a newcomer, you go on YouTube and then you type trading strategies that are free, right? You see a bunch of strategies there. You see a lot of people teaching strategies. Like there are multiple resources to learn online. But why is it that a lot of people are still unprofitable? And yes, part of it is psychology. But I don't think that's the case though sometimes, because let me code my strategy. Let me program my strategy into an expert advisor, like a trading bot. So I did that. And because I have background in coding, I know how to program. I started learning like MQ5 programming, which is the programming language used by MetaTrader 5. So I got into that. I started automating my strategy, and I learned brutal truth about trading strategies. It was so brutal that it almost broke me. I almost gave up on trading. And I think that's the cycle most of us are stuck in. It's you find a strategy, it works well for 2 weeks, you make a lot of money, and then all of a sudden it stops working. You probably start thinking, oh, it's your psychology, or it's this, or it's that. But trust me, it's not your psychology, it's the strategy. A lot of strategies on the long run don't work. And I have proof. Because I've programmed a lot of trading strategies I see on YouTube for free. A lot of these strategies you see online gurus say that this is 95% win rate, or this is a 80% win rate, or even 70% win rate. I've tried it. I've coded most of them. They don't work. They simply don't work. They can work well in a period of like 2 or 3 weeks, or even a month, or even in a year. But then if you test this over 20 years period, it doesn't work. And there's no way you can have a strategy like that and expect to be consistent on a long run. Like if you find yourself taking 10 challenges in 2 months, 5 challenges in 2 months, and you keep failing, or maybe you pass some, you lose some, trust me, stop. Save your money. Prop firms are just not designed for you to pass. Like it's a Ponzi scheme. They literally make money off your money, like, you know what I mean? And it's virtual money. There is no real currency there, and it's just unrealistic to me. And I'm saying all this, I still trade a prop firm account, don't get me wrong. I do still trade a prop firm, but this is for you if you are still not profitable and you want to become profitable on a prop firm account. Like it doesn't make sense to me, because first of all, there is no track record. Once you lose an account, that's it. You lose the account, you lose all the trades you've taken, you lose the track record, right? That's time being wasted. These are like track record that you can use and apply for hedge funds. There are so many disadvantages on simply relying on prop firm accounts to base or to estimate your self-worth as a trader. Pretty sure most of you guys have heard about the silver bullet ICT strategy. Yep. So that is the main reason I actually got into expert advisors, because I saw a lot of people post silver bullet, their own variation. And I'm like, okay, since most of these people are claiming that this strategy has a 60% win rate, 50% win rate, let me try and code it. And they claim is mechanical. So I went ahead, programmed it, made sure it really worked, tested for some months were profitable, right? So I'm thinking that, wow, this actually really works. So I tested from 2015 up until 2025, and the results were horrible. Like most months it loses. And it's not to say that if you trade manually you would intuitively not take a certain trade. But if you're claiming for something, if you're claiming that the strategy is mechanical, isn't the whole point being that, oh, you follow a certain rule and you place a trade and then it should work, or you should win most of the times, right? If that's what you're claiming. So I programmed this and it just wasn't working. I'm like, okay, cool. So if Silver Bullet is not working, most of ICT's like mechanical models were not working when I programmed them. So, and most of these were day trading strategies. So it got me thinking that, okay, I'm still profitable, right? All these, I was still doing this while I was still like trading manually, and like taking small payouts on my account. If most of these strategies don't work, then what works? So I started looking into profitable traders, actual profitable traders with verified track record on DarwinX. Verified track record, mind you. And what I noticed that most of them were swing trading. Like they hold their trades for 2 days plus, 3 days plus, 1 day. Most of them don't day trade. They hold their trade overnight. They hold for 2+ days. So it got me thinking. I'm like, if this trader has a track record of 12 years, because some of the traders on DarwinX have a track record of 12 years, and you can see that over this 12 years period, this guy has been profitable consistently. He has to be doing something right. So I decided to switch completely to swing trading strategy on Expert Advisors, right? Don't get me wrong, I still day trade sometimes, but most of my trades are swing trades. So like I hold for days. So I programmed my first swing trading strategy that, if you put it into perspective, the S&P 500, like the US index, returns 7% a year, right? No matter when you buy, right? So in general, it goes up. And that's how most strategies are. So day trading is so hard. It's probably one of the hardest things to do out there, because it's not easy to show up every single day and do exactly what you have to do to make money. It sounds easy, but in reality, the industry is such a mess that a lot of people are not genuine. And I've seen a few genuine people on YouTube. I have, and I can confirm. Trader Colin, for example, is one of the guys I respect. He has a track record on Darwin. He doesn't hide it. He's very, very transparent. And you don't have to have it Darwin, but I'm saying that if you go that extra mile to show the people, that your audience, people that are watching your video, that I can be trusted, then I respect that. You know what I mean? So the truth about this is that most of these strategies you see on YouTube, they don't work on the long run. Longevity wise, you will lose money, and that is why most of us lose money, and that is why we keep strategy hopping, because we look for one, it works for 2 weeks, it works for 1 month, and then it stops working, and then you think it's your psychology. You start like blaming yourself. You start thinking it's the same cycle over and over again. And the only way to break out of that mindset is to detach yourself from day trading, right? Swing trade is as simple as that. If you're not profitable, right? Day trading, you're not profitable. You show up every morning, you do the same thing, but most of the times you lose. What I want you to do is this. On a Monday, look at the market. Do you think it's going to buy, or do you think it's going to sell? If you think it's going to buy, then buy it. If you think it's going to sell, sell it. Simple. Set your stop loss, take profits. Give your stop loss enough room. I don't care if it's 100 pips, 500 pips, 200 pips. Just do what you feel is right, but give it enough room to breathe. And don't go for a 1:3, 1:2. Simply go for a 1:1, or even a 1:0.5, like a negative risk to reward. Try that for 2 months, and trust me, like, I don't know how to say this, but believe me, you will see changes. 2 months time, just observe that you could be up 2-3% in 2 months. And it might sound too small, but 2% or even 3% in 2 months is like 1.5% every month, and that is enough to make you a millionaire. Like, I just want you guys to do this exercise and see how your trade frequency is going to reduce, but your win rate is going to increase. You're going to win more trades. You're going to spend less time in the market, and you detach from trading. That's when you make money, when you detach from trading. And I also started a signal group. So if you also want to copy my signals, feel free to do so. Right now, it's still free on Telegram. So click the link in my bio, and it's a free signal group for now. I mean, who knows what the future holds? No guarantees, but depending on the performance. And right now, it's performing well because I think we're up. I'm up maybe 2% for this July, 2 or 2.5%. Yeah, but for now, it is free. Feel free to join. Copy the signals. Use risk management. Don't over leverage, and you don't also have to copy it. You can use a demo trading and test it out for yourself. Trading is a personal journey, and don't let anything you see online make you feel less of yourself, because again, most of the things you see online are not true.